Hello, everybody. We are back with part 4 of Sakura Succubus. Let's jump right in. Hello, everybody. We are back. I'm finally here. I've come to settle the score with Aku once and for all. We got off on the wrong foot during our first meeting, but I can't afford to back down now. I'm only here because of Marina. She gave me this chance, and she saved my job. Now, it's time to repay her. It's time to face the music. It's Saturday, and I've come all the way to Okinawa so I can photograph Ayu. I set off early this morning on a flight paid by Marina. The flight took about 3 hours, and it was relatively comfortable. Marina spared no expenses, and I found myself sitting in first class, with spacious chairs and more than enough leg room. I've flown a couple of times before. It's a necessity for my job, but I've had unilaterally miserable experiences. That's a tough word. The lack of legroom is the biggest factor in my flight-induced misery. Being over 6 feet tall can be quite a burden. My legs are just too long. Oh well, the flight's over and done with now. I was met at the airport by a chauffeur, a youth presumably, who drove me to this beach. The chauffeur dropped me off here, then left, after telling me to look for Ayu on my own. That's precisely what I'm doing right now, though. I haven't had much luck. I can't find hide nor hair of Ayu anywhere. I'm not sure where I should start looking, and my indecision's not helped by how huge this beach is. In a vast stretch of pure white sand that sparkles beneath the warm sun like sugar, the turquoise waves lap against the shore, breaking into creamy foam, and palm trees sway in the wind. Seagulls caw above my head, and when I inhale I can smell the salt in the air. A warm, gentle breeze rumples my hair and tugs at the hem of my shirt. Other than the undulating waves and the call of the birds, it's almost completely silent. Since this is a private beach, there are no surfing men, sunbathing women, or screaming children. Neither are there any stray volleyballs, discarded food wrappers, or abandoned buckets and spades to mar the perfect landscape. This beach is so vast and so still, it feels almost completely cut off from the rest of the world. It's a small slice of paradise, a veritable Shangri-La. Is this really how the other half live? I've been missing out my whole life. I've been to the beach before, of course. I went a few times during the heady summer days of my youth. My parents took me to the beach when I was a child. Then, when I got older, I took a few trips with high school friends and later my girlfriend. It's been years since I was last able to get the time off work, or the motivation, to go to the beach though. And I've certainly never been to a beach as beautiful as this one. I can't help but be impressed. How rich is Ayu anyway, if she can afford all this? It's almost unthinkable that this huge expanse of unsold land could belong to one person. Ayu's incredible. I wonder if that's why she asked me to photograph her here. Maybe she was trying to show off. It's not like she needs to bother, though. I think she's impressive enough as it is. Why would a famous idol like Ayu worry about my opinion anyway? Is she trying to get over on her succubus sister? Get one over on her succubus sisters? That sounds like the sort of petty thing she might do. Well, I'm not going to find her if I keep standing here. I need to start making tracks. Operation Locate Ayu is underway. To my relief, it doesn't take all that long to locate my absent host. I wander the beach for a few minutes, hands jammed in my pockets, content to enjoy the warm sunshine and the sound of the rolling waves. I turn my head this way and that, shielding my eyeballs from the sun. It's a little after midday, and the heat gets more and more intense with every footstep. I can feel it burning the nape of my neck, and I pause, wincing. I pause in my travels, taking refuge beneath the shade of a nearby palm tree. Ah. And that's when I finally spot her, half concealed beneath a cluster of swaying palms. It's Aku Ayu in the flesh. She looks far more real than she did when I saw her on stage, surrounded by screaming fans and blinking lights. But there's something off about this picture. In fact, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's off about this. Ayu is reclining in what appears to be an inflatable paddling pool. She's wearing a very tight swimsuit made of golden, metallic material that winks in the sunlight. Her hair is tied back in her signature twin tails, and a pair of dark sunglasses are balanced on the bridge of her nose. So far, there's nothing so unusual about this scene. But the contents of her paddling pool are downright bizarre. It's so bizarre, in fact, I have to do a double take. I rub my eyes and pinch my cheek. This must be some sort of hallucination, brought about by the sultry heat. But no, the scene before me doesn't waver. It must be real. Aku Ayu, Japan's most famous idol, is reclining in a plastic paddling pool filled to the brim with money. It's not just loose change either. It's steeped in what appears to be 10,000 yen notes. It must be a huge amount of banknotes to fill a pool of this size. I'm not sure how much money is crammed into that plastic pool, but it must be easily over several hundred million, maybe even $1 billion. That's more money than I've ever seen in my whole life. And Ayu is luxuriating in it with nary a care in the world. A few loose crumpled notes lie on the sand dunes around the pool. Since there's a bit of a breeze, some of the notes must have blown away, but Ayu doesn't care. Neither does she seem to care that the weight of her firm, plump thighs must be crumpling hundreds of thousand notes. Is this money nothing more than loose change to her? She could feed hundreds of starving people with this money, but she's using it as nothing more than a prop. I've never been one to get worked up about social issues, but this is kind of pissing me off. If this was 18th century France, Ayu's head would be rolling right now. I try to greet Ayu, but this lascivious display of wealth has thrown me. I can only gawp at her, incoherent and confused. Fortunately, these noises of mine seem to be enough to announce my presence, and to convey my feelings. Ayu pulls her sunglasses and glances over to me, a smug smile on her pretty face. My, look at what the cat drag did. You're Mr. Ogasawara, aren't you? That's right, Ogasawara Hiroki, at your service. Ayu purses her lips together. Asawara is such a long family name. It's not very elegant either. I don't like it. I'm sorry? I can't exactly call you Hiroki, though. That would suggest some level of closeness between us. But that couldn't be further from the truth. I'd sooner die than befriend a gangly man like you, with such a tragic fashion sense. Your watch isn't even a designer brand. Your pants are so scruffy, your hair is sticking up, and those glasses are tragic. Ayu turns her nose up in the air, unimpressed. I thought you would made a bit of an effort before you came to see me. I'm Aku Ayu, after all. I'm famous. Don't you know who I am? I'm very aware of who you are, Miss Aku. In fact, I'm more intimately acquainted with her than the most. I still can't forget the sensation of her body pressed against mine, or the sharp sting of my cheek as she slapped me. I wonder if she remembers that. If she does, she's made no indication of it. Maybe she wants to forget that embarrassing chapter of her life. Could that be the reason for this extravagant display? Is she hoping to dazzle me with so much luxury I'll forget about our first encounter too? Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Ayu shakes her head. Her long twin tails flutter in the tropical breeze. I can see you and I will never get along. Compared to me, you are nothing more than an insect. I have no desire to speak to you. But I promised Marina I wouldn't do this. I owe her a few favors. She's scary when she gets mad, so I'll grin and bear it. As an idol, it's my job to smile, though my fans are so disgusting they make me want to hurl. Wow, talk about direct. I never quite brought a used cutesy act, but I didn't think she'd be so upfront about loathing her fan base. If it wasn't for those disgusting fans that she mulligans, you wouldn't be able to kick back on a private beach in a paddling pool full of money. A bit of gratitude wouldn't kill her, would it? This is for business, not pleasure, so I'll behave with the dignity befitting of a true pro. From now on, you'll be my cameraman. I hope you're up for the task. Right, I'll do my best. You better. I used lip curls. I can't understand why Marina was so adamant that I let you take my photograph, though. You already have your chance, and you blew it. So she does remember our first meeting. I figured as much. My obnoxious big sister seems quite taken with you. She kept telling me that you were a good, kind man with a most delectable scent. I'll admit, your aroma is quite appealing, but you're no looker. Everything about you, from your fashion sense to your posture to your style of speaking, it's a huge turnoff. You're not attractive at all. Why, then, is Marina giving you such preferential treatment? What in the world does she see in you? And why did I feel so hot during our first meeting? Ayu mumbles this last question under her breath, more to herself than anyone else. I don't think she means for me to overhear her, but she's not being particularly subtle, and I do all the same. How am I supposed to respond to that? Should I apologize? But Marina scolded me for apologizing too much. Maybe I should have more faith in myself. So, Miss Aku, is it alright if we start the photo shoot? I have my equipment with me. I'm ready to go whenever you are. Fine, fine. Ayu waves one hand carelessly. Start snapping away, I don't care. The sooner we get this over with, the better. I couldn't agree more. Ayu might be hot, her tight swimsuit is struggling to contain the heft of her huge melons, but her personality leaves something to be desired. I wouldn't mind so much if she was just vain and materialistic. I've worked with more difficult clients than her before, but her two-faced nature makes her even more aggravating. She's nothing at all like the adorable image she portrays to her fans. If they knew what their idol really thought of them, I doubt they'd be willing to support her much longer. Showbiz is such a sketchy industry. I get my camera out of my bag and start adjusting the lenses. I hold it to my face, zooming in and out. I use Boxum body, then pause. Miss Aku? Yes, what is it, cameraman? I was just wondering, do you really want me to take the photo of you lying in a pool filled with money? But of course, that's why I set this all up. Wouldn't have bothered if I hadn't known you were coming. I don't like wasting time. Ayu snorts. You're not very bright, are you? This barb makes me grit my teeth together. This girl is seriously annoying. Her moody skulls are bad enough, but the smug smirk on her is even worse. I thought I'd show the world just how incredible I really am. It doesn't matter that Cosmos has 2 million more rapid pound followers than I do. I'm the real celebrity here, and I have more than enough cash to prove it. I won't let anybody look down on me, or mock me, or insult me. I might be an idol, but I'm working hard. I clawed my way to the top, and this is where I intend to stay. If money is power, I must be invincible. So what do you think? Are you impressed? You must be impressed. Who wouldn't be impressed? Ooh. I feel a bead of sweat trickling down my cheek. I never would have thought it of a star like Aku, but she must have a serious chip on her shoulder. I don't think you need to go to such length to prove your worth. Everybody knows you're successful, without your flaunting your wealth like this. In fact, I think posing in a tub full of money wouldn't make your fans turn against you. Paw, what do you know? Ayu turns her nose up in the air. In this world, money is everything. I have a lot of money, much more than Cosmos, or even Marina, so I must be a queen. My authority is unshakable. Bow down before me. I can't bow down right now. I'm supposed to be taking your photo. Then do it. Capture my beauty, right here and now. That's an order, peasant. So I've been downgraded from cameraman to peasant? What's next? Serf? Slave? I'm pondering this when... Huh? You jolts her eyes wide to comical proportions. All of her smug self-confidence is gone. Now she looks like a little girl, embarrassed after being caught pilfering cookies. I gather my senses about me as a more difficult task than it sounds, and rush to Ayu's side in alarm. Are you alright, Ayu? Did something happen? Yes, I wasn't paying attention and, well... Shyly, Japanese #1 idol holds up the finger of her right hand for my inspection. Its tip is swollen pink, and it's been bisected horizontally with a hairline cut. I know what this is, even before I use tearful confession. Mr. Cameraman, I think I have a paper cut. Alright, that's just about does it. I sigh, wiping a few beads of sweat from my forehead, then examine my handiwork. I managed to salvage most of the money from a used paddling pool. Now all the crumpled, slightly sweaty notes are stashed away safely inside my shoulder bag, with the rest of my camera equipment. The pool itself, meanwhile, was deflated, and now lies under the shade of a palm tree, flaccid and unused. Ayu's herself hangs back, still clad in her golden swimsuit. She props her full breast up with her arms, and embarrassment blushes playing about her cheeks. Luckily for me, the paper cut was enough to convince Ayu that her proper photo shoot was a bad idea. With a bit more Syrian, I got her to abandon the idea for good. I'm glad that's been taken care of, but the day's wearing on, and I haven't taken a single photo of Ayu yet. This is shaping up to be a disaster. It's not like I'm glad you helped me tidy up or anything, idiot. Ayu pouts, devoid of her usual pomp, and scuffs at the sandy dunes with tips of her foot. Truth be told, I found Ayu's nothing short of irritating during our reunion. But this mishap earlier has drained some of her cocky self-confidence. Now she's acting awkward and unsure of herself. She's significantly more manageable. She's a lot more likable, too. Her mega-cute stage persona might be an act to endear her fans, but maybe her mega-bitch persona was an act concluded to impress me. I'm not sure why Ayu'd go out of her way to impress me, given she seems to hate me. But if that is really the case, then I guess I feel somewhat flattered. I'm a bit less happy, however, about all the banknotes she crumpled and tore during her little performance piece. What a waste. I'm not happy about this at all, but since we're busy business partners, it'd be remiss of me if I didn't thank you. Marina will be pissed if she finds out I've given you a hard time, so, Ayu scratches her cheek, her brow furrowed. I'm happy you cleared up all the money. And I'm happy you treated my paper cut, too. The thanks. Sure, she's acting nice now, but isn't it a little too late? I'm not sure how to feel about all this. It's no problem. Like you said, we're business partners. I'm just doing my job. I offer you one of my brightest smiles, which makes her recoil. Her eyes me wistfully, still pouting. Yeah, sure, whatever. I still think it would be good if you'd taken some photos of me in that pool, like I wanted. But maybe it was too high concept for most normal people. I don't know if it was all that high concept, but it was certainly a controversial concept. You think people wouldn't like it? With all my experiences as a photographer, I can say categorically that they would not. Gah. Ayu takes a step back, defeated. I thought it was such a good idea, too. What does a girl have to do to get people to respect her? Your fans respect you more than enough as it is. Can't you remember how loud they cheered for you? Sure, they cheered for me. They don't look up to me the same way people look up to Marina. The media doesn't see me as a role model or an inspiration. They think I'm just some dumb kid who lucked into being a success overnight. As if it was that easy. I worked hard to become a Japanese top idol. I sacrificed all my free time and I put in so much effort. But the general public refuses to recognize me. They say I'm nothing more than a fad. They call my songs vapid and meaningless, and they say I don't have any real talent. People online say I go after the lowest common denominator, and I'm nothing more than bait for sad and lonely men. I wanted to use this photo shoot to get back at all the naysayers. I wanted to make them see how far I've come and how amazingly wealthy I am. I figured if they saw my riches, they wouldn't dare criticize me again. Was I mistaken? That's a tricky question. I don't think it's bad that you want to be accepted by more people. That's natural. I don't think anybody likes being insulted. Apart from, like, Maceo Christ. But that's part of being a public figure. You chose this life of scrutiny for yourself when you decided to be an idol. It's impossible to make everybody like you. You'll never be able to sway everybody's heart, so you should focus on giving your existing fan base what they want. And you don't think they want to see how much money I have? I think that's the opposite of what they want. I don't know much about idol culture, so maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I think your appeal as an idol comes not from your monetary success, but from how you treat your fans. I can remember when you said last week when I saw you live, you attributed your current success to your fans, and you thank them for their support. You make your fans feel loved and valued. That's why people keep buying your albums and supporting your songs. They think you're a sweet kid, kind, girl next door type. Please work hard to cultivate the image. That's the you everybody knows and loves. Hiroki? Ayu sniffs, blinking tears from her eyes. Then she offers me a bright smile. Thank you. I feel a lot better now. You're right, of course. I can't make everybody revere me, but I don't need to. I'm already Japanese top idol. I have thousands, no, millions of fans all over the world, and they love me, even if other people don't. That's why I need to show them my unique Ayuyu brand of cute and captivating. I'll put a lovely dovey spell on them, and they'll fall for me all over again. Yes, that's right. This photo shoot started poorly, but Ayu's speech is getting me fired up. She sure knows how to work a crowd. If you keep up that attitude, this photo shoot will be a huge success. I know it will. Well, of course, that goes without saying. I am Ayuyu, and I'm the most popular idol in Japan for a reason. The fans love me, and I love them. I'll give them a lot of super special service so they look at me and only me. I'll monopolize their eyes, their minds, and their hearts. And who knows? Ayu smiles smugly, her hands planted on her hips. I might just steal your heart too, Mr. Cameraman. Oh, really? I'd like to see you try. You don't need to. I'm already halfway there. You've been staring at my boobs for the last half hour. What are you, some kind of kissless virgin? Ho, 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 ho. Now it's my turn to be embarrassed. I glance away from Ayu, unable to meet her knowing gaze. She's not wrong on that count. I have been gaping at her breasts. But can you blame me? They're huge. I've seen a lot of attractive women during the last week, but Ayu is no slouch. Her body's just as incredible as Marina's and Cosmos. Heh. This is all too easy. You're such a simpleton, Mr. Cameraman. I'm a succubus, just like Marina and Cosmos, and I won't let them beat me. I'm going to keep on getting cuter and cuter, and soon you won't be able to resist me. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, God. So what do you think of this angle, Mr. Cameraman? Ayu glances at me from over her shoulder, a rugged smirk playing about her lips. Is this good enough for you? Does it make them most of my charms? Do I look appealing? Foo 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 foo. Ayu giggles, pleased with herself, and rocks her hips from side to side. Her round, full ass sways hypnotically. She looks good. No, she looks incredible. Oh my, it looks like you're enjoying yourself a bit too much, Mr. Cameraman. If my fans knew about this, they'd really be pissed off. Maybe I should write a blog post about it. No, wait. I cry out desperately, my voice strangled with Burgundian panic. Don't call me out online. I'm just a poor man struggling to get by. Please, have mercy on me, Ayu. I don't want to be fired. I suppose I have no choice after hearing you bleat like that. I'll show mercy on you just this once. Though you really are pathetic. Ayu sniggers. You're a lot of fun to tease, Mr. Cameraman. I wonder if that's why Marina likes you so much. She likes making people squirm. She's such a sadist. I'm sure it takes one to know one. Oh, you think I'm a sadist too? Well, maybe you're right. I must say, I do love how red your face is right now. Oh ho ho. Now, what are you waiting for? Why don't you take my picture? Isn't that why you came all the way out here? Oh yeah, that's right. I was so distracted that I almost completely forgot what I was supposed to be doing. I adjust the camera, then bring it to my eye. I take a step back so better to the frame. I use body against the aquamarina water. The blue water contrasts nicely with a used golden swimsuit. Stray droplets of water arc through the air, shimmering like diamonds in the sunlight. I'm sure my boss will love these photos. I start taking photos. The shutter flashes at irregular intervals. While if I photograph her, I call out instructions to you, and she's only too happy to obey them. Turn your head to the right. No, the other right. You can toy with your hair. Can you toy with your hair? Maybe if you turn this way, then that's it. I use a pretty good model when she isn't posing in a pool full of banknotes. I was dreading this photo shoot for a while, but this is a lot more fun than I anticipated. I think this is one of the better photo shoots I've had in a while. I guess it helps that the subject of my shoot is controversially attractive, but this scenario is to die for, too. I forget just how much fun photography can be. I'm having a blast. I was at least until... Hey, you, how dare you seduce my boyfriend? Uh-oh. Oof. I stagger back winded, and something collides with me. My camera falls to the ground, just as it did the evening of a youth concert, though the sand mercifully helps cushion it. I don't think my camera should be too badly damaged, at least it didn't land in the ocean, but that's not my top priority here. What's going on? I glance to my right, momentarily bewildered, and... Oh shit. Oh, so she lost the cat ears. Josh will be disappointed. There's a girl clinging to me. It's a girl I know well, though I've never seen her wear an outfit quite like this before. Her two-toned hair is cute, cut into a cute, choppy blob, and her amber eyes are lined with long, full lashes. She has a snub nose, cherry blossom lips, and a full figure befitting of a model. It's Cosmos? That's right. Cosmos clings to me jealously, her breast pushed up against my arm. The last time I spoke to Cosmos, she was wearing her baggy jacker and her short denim shorts. Right now, however, she's attired in something that looks a bit like a swimsuit costume, tight and elastic. Upon her head, she sports a pair of ram horns, and bat-like wings protrude from her back. This must be Cosmos' Succubus form. I've never seen it before. She looks pretty good like this, I guess. Oh, that's a you. I was like, wait. But I don't have much time to ponder Cosmos' good looks, because I use stalking over us. Her form changes with every step. Horns sprouting from her scalp, a tail protruding from her derriere. Even a used golden bikini melts away to reveal a skimpy red costume. Hey, Cosmos. A youth stabs a finger at the unexpected intruder. What do you think you're doing here? This is my private beach. I didn't offer you an invitation. Get out, scram. No, I won't. Cosmos grips my arm even more tightly. If such a thing is possible, my arm is being swollen by the shelf of her chest. This might be your beach, but Hiroki is my boyfriend. I love him a lot, and I won't let you seduce him. Your boyfriend? Are you raising an eyebrow? Don't be ridiculous. You're a succubus. We don't have boyfriends. We only have conquests. I don't understand why you'd want to take a plain, boring man like this as your boyfriend anyway. I bet there are tapeworms out there that are more interesting than he is. You say that, but... Look, my guy's a nerd. I finally can see what he looks like. You're clinging to Hiroki even harder than I am. What? No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. A you counters shrilly, but her arms wind about my neck more tightly than before. If this keeps up, she really might choke me out. Choke me. Cosmos has control of my right side. My arm is being engulfed by the impressive value of her breast, and I'm afraid I'll never be able to extract it. Ayu, meanwhile, has taken hold of my left. Her arms are looped greedily about my arms like those of a small child grasping at a favorite toy. These girls are both shorter than I am, despite their heels, but they're surprisingly strong. They're gripping me so hard my arms feel numb. I'm afraid my bones are going to splinter. Marina wasn't kidding when she said Succubus had more stamina than your regular person. They're way too powerful. I'm not clinging to Hiroki because I like him or anything, idiot. Now Ayu realizes there's no way she can deny Cosmos' claims. I guess she decided to change tactic. Clever. I'm clinging to him because he's my cameraman. We were in the middle of a shoot, which you rudely interrupted. Now relinquish him at once. I won't. Hiroki agreed to be my boyfriend before he became your cameraman. Why? Ayu glowers at Cosmos. Stop acting so imprinted. Don't think you can boss me around just because you have a few more followers on Rapid Pound than I do. I have 2 million more followers than you do. Eek! Don't say it! Don't say it! Nobody likes to show off. Jeez, this is prime example of the pot calling the kettle black. Ayu's such a hypocrite. I'm tempted to call her out on this, but she's still talking. Her shrill voice cuts through the air like a scythe. Her chest pushes even more firmly against my arm. Who cares how many followers you have? I'm still older than you. You should respect my wishes. Why are you even here? Who told you I'd be here? Marina did. She told me about your photo shoot. I was afraid you'd try to seduce my boyfriend, so I came to see you. I know what you're like. I don't trust you, Ayu. You're a bad girl. You always want the things I have. You're so jealous. Jealous? Who said I was jealous? I'm not jealous. I don't like Hiroki one little bit. Then let go of him. Only if you let go of him first. I won't. I love him. And I'd love if he could finish up my photo shoot without you distracting him. Ayu tugs my left arm, while Cosmos tugs my right. They're both pulling so hard I'm afraid my limbs will pop clean out of their sockets. Then my career as a photographer will be truly scuppered. Is there any way to make them stop? Tell... Tell them both to let go. The girls, please, you don't need to fight. Please, let go. Oh, shut up. You being Ayu completely ignores my pleas. I'm not sure what I expected, really. Why did I even bother? I don't even know why you like Hiroki. You've always had strange taste, but I didn't think you were quite this weird. I'm not weird. Marina likes him, too. Marina likes any spineless man she can manipulate. I wouldn't set much store by her paramours. Ayu snorts dismissively. Marina's not as young as she used to be. She's getting on in years. Her prime is well and truly behind her. Our poor older sister can't seduce men like she used to. She has to settle for dregs now. She's desperate. Oh? Desperate, am I? Yes, that's right. Marina only wishes she could be as cute as I am. She's pathetic. But Ayu's mocking tirade soon peters out. She lets go of my arm and turns her head. stiffer than a wooden doll. All color drains from her cheeks. Then she whimpers. But Marina, is that really you? But of course, who else would it be? Marina stands before us, tall and striking as always. She's attired not in the regalia of businesswoman, but the garb of succubus. Her horns and her wings adding to her disconcerting demeanor. Marina's dark skin glows in the tropical sunlight. Her long white hair flutters in the breeze, and her eyes narrow into a look of unmistakable disdain. It's a pleasure to see you, Ayu. I missed you, my dear younger sister. I wish I could say that without any lingering regret, but Marina scowls. I could not help but overhear what you said about me. I'd like to believe it was a mistake. I'd like to believe I was mistaken, being so very old. My hearing isn't what it used to be, but I doubt I would make such a mistake. You said I was desperate. You called me pathetic. Is that any way to speak about your kind, caring older sister who has stuck by you through thick and thin? What do you have to say in your defense? Ayu swallows, then she gets down on her hands and knees, her forehead pressed against the burning sand, and cries, I'm so sorry, Marina. I'm really, truly sorry. Really? Marina raises an eyebrow. That is gratifying to hear. But I don't think you're sorry enough. Now, come here. Marina sits up on a nearby rock, then pats her thighs with one hand. You've clearly forgotten your manners, but don't worry. I will teach them to you once more, as any kind, benevolent big sister should. It's because I care about you that's why I'm willing to go to such lengths for your sake, my dear Ayu. Now, what do you have to say about that? Ayu gets to her feet, her knees spotted with sand, and winces. I'm so happy, big sis. Thank you very much. I sure do love you a bunch. You desiccated, dried out old hag. She'll whoop her. Yep. Alright, Ayu, have you learned your lesson yet? Yes, big sis, I've learned my lesson. I'm sorry. Really? That's what you say? But you don't sound very sorry to me. I still don't think you guessed the sheer gravity of your wrongdoings. No, I do. Definitely I do. I understand, so please, let me off the hook. Don't spank me again, Marina. Please don't. That's Miss Marina to you, you ungrateful maggot. You're in no position to tell me what to do. Now repent. Maybe this will help you shed some of your hubris. This is for insulting me. Smack. And this is for bothering Hiroki. Smack. And this is for arguing with Cosmos. Smack. And this is because looking at your smug face pisses me off. What? Hey, wait. That's not fair. Smack. Wah! Marina's palm finds Ayu's unprotected ass once more. Her palm cracks against Ayu's rear like a whip, and Ayu cries out in pain. Her legs kick back and forth in the air. Tears bead in her eyes. I haven't counted how many times Marina spanked her naughty little sister, but this must be the 4th round or so of her punishment. Ayu's been bent doubled over Marina's lap, her plush ass raised for almost 10 minutes. I'm starting to feel sorry for the poor girl. Is it true Ayu's pretty obnoxious, but does she really deserve such a harsh punishment? Hey, Cosmos. I shoot a look at Cosmos, who's been observing this scene with an impassive look on her face. Does Marina often discipline Ayu like this? Yes, Ayu often annoys Marina. She doesn't show her any respect. Ayu blurts out whatever comes into her head. Then she gets in trouble. I see, don't you think I should try to stop them? Huh? Why would you do that? Well... Slap, slap, slap. Wow, my ass is burning. Have mercy, Marina. Why should I? After you said so many horrible things about me? This is what you deserve. You shouldn't count yourself lucky. You should count yourself lucky I'm so merciful, or I'd be beating your behind with a slipper. Now apologize. Aren't you, a little worried? Ayu sounds like she's in a lot of pain. It's fine. She's stronger than she looks. It's all an act. Are you sure? It looks like she's really crying. They're fake tears. She's not really sorry. She hasn't learned anything from this, I can tell. I've known AU longer than you have. She's natural born actress. I can't keep up with her, really. Talking to people is exhausting. I don't think I could interact with society while pretending to be somebody else. I guess she's kind of impressive, in a sense. Slap, slap, slap. Hey, Marina, please stop. I already said I'm sorry. Please, don't hit me so hard. It'll make it hard to dance. As an idol, I need to take good care of my body. I can't afford to let it get all flabby and saggy like yours. Flabby and saggy, am I? That's news to me. I had no idea, but thank you for bringing that to my attention. Now let me repay you for your kindness. What? No, Marina, I didn't mean it like that. I just meant, well, slap. Gah! But she's very stupid, too. Yes, I can see that for myself. I continue to watch, my lips pierced as Marina subjects I use to the full brunt of her ire. I do feel sorry for you, but this is her fault. None of this would be happening if she hadn't been so rude to Marina. Cosmos is right. You really hasn't learned anything. She's such a dummy. Good grief, my hand feels sore after all that exercise. Marina wiggles her fingertips in an attempt to ease the dull ache of her much abused palm. Ayu, meanwhile, is lying on the sand, curled up on herself in a ball. Her arms are wound about her legs, and she sniffing to herself in a tiny voice I can only half catch above the rolling of the waves. Stupid meanie, what a poopy head. Why do I always get scolded? It's not fair. I didn't do anything wrong. This is all Cosmos' fault. I'll tell Princess Yu about this. Marina's the worst. Cosmos, for her part, is kneeling by Yu's side. She gently pats her on her head, like one might a farmyard animal, and says sweetly, There. Don't worry. I'll look after you. But like hell you will. Yu throws Cosmos' hand off her, that shoots her a fierce glare. Though this intensity of sad glare is hampered somewhat with the anger tears still beating in her eyes. I don't want your sympathy. Don't touch me. I hate you. Is that because I have more Rapid Pound followers than you do, despite being younger? What? No. Like, I care about that. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Ayu whimpers, her lashes squeezing shut, as a burst of pain flares through her body. My ass, it stings. It'll be alright. There. Cosmos resumes petting Ayu. This time she doesn't stroke the crown of her head, but her reddened behind. Ayu hisses at this, but she doesn't try to push Cosmos away. Maybe she doesn't have the energy. She certainly looks defeated. Goodness gracious. Those silly younger sisters of mine. Marina shakes her head, bemused, and folds her arms over her ample chest. I'm sorry, Hiroki, for causing such a disturbance. I didn't mean to interrupt you while you were working, but I had no choice. Once I heard Cosmos was coming here, I knew I had to check up on things too. Cosmos and Ayu have always butted heads, and I feared there would be some fallout. We succubi are physically stronger than most humans. I was worried you might get caught up in one of their silly fights and then you'd be injured. So that's why Marina's here. I was wondering. That makes sense, I guess. As the older succubus of the group, she felt obligated to discipline her juniors, lest they cause me any problems. Marina might come across as cool, distant beauty, but she's actually quite caring. Thanks, Marina. You helped me out a lot. Those two were tugging at my arm so hard I was afraid I'd split down the middle. If you had split in two, they might be for the best, then my sisters wouldn't fight over you, so... But perhaps 2 Hirokis would be not enough. I'm fond of you, too, and I don't want to give you up to Ayu or Cosmos without a fight. Marina pouts cutely, coiling a strand of white hair around her fingers. You don't think I'm old and saggy, do you, Hiroki? What? Of course not. Really? Really, you might be older than Ayu and Cosmos, but that doesn't diminish your charms. I think you're a very attractive woman, and I'm glad you care about me so much. That makes me very happy. Oh, thank goodness. That is a relief. I don't tend to let Ayu's words get to me, but she is right on the score. I am a good deal older than both of her and Cosmos. I've been feeling somewhat of self-conscious about it as of late. In any event, I must apologize once more for once more for getting in your way. As a businesswoman myself, I know how aggravating it is to be distracted while on the job. It's alright. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you. You convinced you to meet me, and you paid for the tickets. I'm in your debt, Marina. I bow my head before her, and she smiles. That's quite alright, dear. You are my partner. It's only natural I should help you where I can. I fear my machinations have done little to aid you, though. Marina places her fingers against her chin, a thoughtful look upon her face. Were you able to take any photos of you? I took a few, but it would be nice if I could get some more. It'd be good to get some shots in of her different outfits at different locations. Yes, indeed, you're quite right. Then the solution is clear. You must spend even more time with us. Oh yes, that's a great idea. Ayu, who seemingly recovered from her trauma, springs to her feet. She strikes a cute pose, then proclaims, "One day is simply not enough time to capture all my charms. If you want to get some decent photographs of yours truly, you'll need to spend at least a week in my presence." That's not fair. I want to spend a week with Hiroki too. And I could use a break from work. I'd be very much like to toy with you for a full 7 days, darling. Like hell he's your darling. He's my cameraman. No, he's my boyfriend. Darling. Cameraman. Boyfriend. You guys? I glance between the three succubi, an awkward grimace on my face. Naturally, I'm flattered that these three babes have taken such an interest in me, but I'm a little perturbed too. I don't want them attacking one another again. I'm not worth it. Besides, I don't think I'll be able to get a full week of off work. My boss is very stingy. He'll turn down my request in an instant. Oh, I wouldn't worry about him, darling. Maria replies archly, with a narrow of a hint concern marrying her pretty face. I'll arrange something with that boss of yours. He's a tedious bore of a man, but I can wrap him around my little finger like yarn. It's not like you'd be on vacation anyway. You'd be busy taking photos of me for this upcoming article. You can put it down as a business expense. And then when you're tired from work, you can collapse in my arms. I'll give you long, firm massage and help you forget all your woes. What? No way. I'll be the one to ease Hiroki's concerns. Really? But he's not your boyfriend. He's just your cameraman. You have no right to touch him. That would be a breach of workplace etiquette. Grr, you're smarter than you look. And you're just as dumb as you look. But why you... That doesn't. Ayu and Cosmo starts brawling. Still dressed in her skimpy succubus attire, Cosmos tugs at Ayu's long twin tails, while Ayu pinches Cosmos' cheeks like mochi. Their enraged shouts echoes across the sand, mingled with the cawing of the gulls. Those two are certainly lively, aren't they? Yes, indeed. It's because they are so young. Relatively speaking, they have a lot to learn. Marina sighs and shakes her head. She looks exasperated, like a put-upon teacher, but I think I can see genuine compassion in her eyes. Cosmos and Ayu might annoy her, but I'm sure she cares for them, just as she cares for me. Idly, I find myself thinking she'd make a great mother. She's so nurturing. Well, putting them to one side for now. Would you like to go on a trip to a hot springs with us next week? I prefer it if it was just you and I, of course, but I doubt those girls would let us sulk on our own. They can be very demanding, and you do need to take more photographs of you. I'll work things out with your boss, and I'll pay for it out of pocket. How does that sound? It sounds pleasant enough, but now. Marina cups my cheeks with her hands and leans in, her eyes half-lidded and sultry. Her large bosoms press against my chest, and I can smell a powerful fluorescent ammonia emitting from her skin. I'm not sure if this is because of Marina's perfume, or if this is some scent unique to succubi. Now that I think about it, Cosmo smells pretty good too. Please say yes. Marina stares into my eyes, her voice a soft, seductive whisper. I would break my heart if you refuse, my darling Hiroki. Well, honestly speaking, I'm a little worried about this invitation. While I'd love to relax my weary body in a hot spring being groped by all three horny succubi, sounds exhausting. Who knew Mr. Popular could be so hard? I'm not sure if I can deal with Cosmos and Ayu's constant bickering for a whole week. But Marina's being so kind, I'd feel guilty refusing her. Her dynamite body is similarly hard to resist. Oh, alright then, I'll go with you. It would make a nice change of pace at least. Wonderful. I knew you'd make the right choice, Hiroki. Well, of course I made the right choice. I didn't have any choice to make. But that's besides the point. It looks like I'm going to be going on a trip soon. I can hardly wait. And that's where we're going to call it. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. I appreciate everybody that will stop by. Yeah, last thing I have to say before I get out of here. Just remember one thing, okay? Life is not promised. Tomorrow is not promised. So if you haven't talked to somebody in a while, reach out to them. Tell them you love them. Because again, tomorrow is not promised. R.I.P. Bray Wyatt. With that, I must bid you all adieu. Goodbye, and